draft that first year. So I didn't change the grading scale. I tried to adjust to them. I think in my role it's more important that I have to be able to evaluate players very well, but I also have to be able to evaluate staff and personnel and my people. I have to know, just like a manager on a team, I have to know which scout is good with pitching, which is good with hitting, which scout, is good in the home, which one's not, that type of thing, which one's a high grader, which one's a low grader, and kind of mesh all that in. So really detailed process that goes into it. And what I tried to do was shore that up, tried to put a lot of faith back in people, faith back in the scouts, give them expectations that we would do better. We self-evaluate a lot. There's not a player you'll bring up to me that I won't know that we missed. I'm very well aware when I think we could have done a better job. To be good, you have to self-evaluate and you have to get better. So those are some of the things, Danny, that we just put in place real quick. And like I said, I'm very proud of the staff. So
one of the things Logan did, and I know he won't tell you, so I'll tell you, he empowered the area scout again. And for those of you who aren't really aware, area scouts are out there every day finding out about makeup, information, whatnot. And he got the area scouts back to the point where they had a real voice in the organization. And a good example is Russell Martin. So I'd love you to talk about how that came about, simply because Russell Martin doesn't happen if the philosophy doesn't change.
Well, that's a great story. Russell Martin, I remember speaking with Billy Bean at Cal State Fullerton watching a game, and he was talking to me about his philosophies to draft catchers that can hit. Don't care if they can catch, throw, whatever, I want catchers that can hit. And I was telling him that I want to draft guys that we can convert, players that we can convert to maybe be a catcher. So it was one of our philosophies going in. We want to find guys that we can convert to a catcher. And our scout did a tremendous job. I had 2 scouts on it. They did a tremendous. I have to give John Barr a ton of credit. He's at a game. Russell Martin was a second baseman, third baseman, playing, and saw him in the bullpen. Clarence Johns was the area scout. He was messing around in the bullpen, and so they turned him in as a prospect and somebody that we could convert to a catcher. This honestly took place before the draft. We always wanted to draft him and convert him to a catcher based on that. But that doesn't happen without those guys being at the ballpark, staying late, paying attention, that kind of stuff. So that's one of our philosophies, to try to convert guys, because catching, as you know, is hard to find. Catching's hard to find, and a lot of the great players, I think Pegnazzi and different people have been conversion guys to catch, so it's one of those we try to do.
Obviously, one of the fan favorites here, Matt Kemp. Now, Matt Kemp was a 6th round draft pick. So, look, why don't you talk a little bit, now that he's